It's Cece's Spooktacular October month-long thingamajig Halloween-themed video event. Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm here to share with you my very favorite spooky things. Okay, so maybe they aren't all necessarily spooky, since I'm the biggest scaredy cat in the world, but October is my favorite month of the year, and Halloween is the best. So I thought I would just talk about my favorite stuff that's Halloween-y, and this means my favorite movies to watch in the month of October, my favorite Halloween specials, my favorite Halloween-y themed songs, what have you. So yes, let's just get right into it. And just so you know, this will replace my monthly favorites video, but I promise you that in November, I will talk about all my favorites from the previous 2 months. But anyway, let's just get into it. It is October, and it is time to talk about spooky things. So the first category of things I'm going to be talking about is my favorite movies to watch in the month of October. None of these are spooky movies. I can't watch scary things, or I don't sleep, so sorry if you were expecting horror movie recommendations. This is like, you know, the ABC Family, 13 Nights of Halloween. That's really more my jam more than anything else. The first of those is obviously Hocus Pocus, the ultimate. Every year, I'm like, okay, we're a little bit closer to watching Hocus Pocus. We can watch Hocus Pocus in a month, 2 weeks to Hocus Pocus. Like, that is actually October for me. It's just to sit down and watch Hocus Pocus. It's like a little bit cheesy, but it's about witches, and it's fun, and I love everything about it. And I don't really know what else to add here, except that one year, me and my sister and my cousin, we dressed up as the Sanderson sisters, and believe me, I will come back to that a little bit later, but Hocus Pocus is the best. The next movies that I will be talking about, do you remember how I said I don't really watch spooky movies? Okay, so keep that in mind when I say that my next 2 favorite movies to watch in the month of October are Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Yes, these are not spooky movies, but I've been obsessed with Scooby-Doo since I was like a teeny tiny child. Like, that's the show I was raised on, and so that passion has really not waned with time in any way. And Witch's Ghost, first of all, it's about witches, which is amazing. Second of all, Tim Curry is a voice in The Witch's Ghost, and I love Tim Curry. He's featured in another of these movies, which I'm sure you can already guess now. But also, it's like he's supposed to be making fun of Stephen King a little bit. Plus, this has the Hex Girls, which in my opinion is the best fictional girl band of all time. And I love them. I wish they were real so that I could go see a concert. I would watch the hell out of the Hex Girls if they did a concert. But then also, Zombie Island is the most fun because it brings forth my love of Southern Gothic in a really ridiculous way, I suppose, since it's Scooby-Doo. But, you know, it's like a bayou, and there's curses, and cat people. They're great, okay? Like I said, Tim Curry, yeah, another one of my favorite movies for October is obviously Rocky Horror Picture Show. I didn't see this until like my first year of college. I just didn't. And I absolutely love it. I haven't watched it yet this year. I mean, October. We're only a few days into October, so don't judge me. It's ridiculous. The music is so catchy, and everything about it just works for me. Rocky Horror is such a great movie to watch, and you don't have to watch it in October, but I like to. That's just my preference. See, the next one I have to mention is The Craft. Are you sensing a witch theme here? I like witches. The Craft is fun because it is sort of cheesy, but also is, in my opinion, like, besides Hocus Pocus, the best witch movie that there is. Plus, this one gets to be focused on the witches, and it's just like a rip and roar and good time. I love The Craft. I hope that I get to watch it again this year. Also, gotta mention Shaun of the Dead. That is like the best form of zombie movie I can watch. I only care about zombies if they're funny zombies. That's like a thing about me. I love Shaun of the Dead, I love Zombieland, I love Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, the book, not the movie. I only really care about zombies if it's funny, and Shaun of the Dead is hilarious. Plus, Edgar Wright is one of, if not my favorite director, and the entire Cornetto trilogy in general is fantastic, but Shaun of the Dead is just something special. Also, I love Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, the movie with Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter. Again, I didn't see this until like my first year of college probably, but it's so good. Again, the music is fantastic. I haven't ever seen a live production of Sweeney Todd, but I would love to. This movie is so good, and I listen to the song A Little Priest like all the time during October because I think it's such a hilarious song, but it's also incredibly morbid. And that really just sums up my preference for scary movies. Also, quick note, Halloweentown. I mean, I love Hocus Pocus and that's my favorite. Disney, obviously, but Halloweentown, witches. But also, it's just fun. I love the Cromwells. I was obsessed with Marnie. I wanted to be Marnie when I was a kid. I recently rewatched Halloweentown and it was a little ridiculous. And then I rewatched Halloweentown 2 and I probably don't ever need to do that again. But I loved Marnie and I still love Halloweentown. And my last favorite one that I have to mention is obviously The Nightmare Before Christmas. There are a lot of people, you know, we're not sure if this is really a Halloween movie, is it really a Christmas movie? I tend to prefer to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas around Christmas. It just reads a little bit more Christmas to me than Halloween, but I mean, if you ask me to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas in October, obviously I'm gonna say yes. And I still listen to all the music constantly, obviously. It's just a really, really good one. It's just so impressive. So anyway, those are all of my favorite movies to watch in the month of October, and let's just jump right into my favorite music to listen to. First up, the Halloween essential classic, The Monster Mash by Bobby Pickett. But does this need explanation? It's the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. When we started decorating for Halloween in this dorm, I turned on my Halloween playlist and I was like, all of you songs are great, but it doesn't matter unless you start with the Monster Mash. Like, start your Halloween right. The next one is Terror Time Again by Skycycle. And if you're like, I'm not sure I know that one, it's from Scooby on Zombie Island, guys. That's what it's from. When they have a chase through that movie, this is one of the songs that plays. And it's like legitimately a really good Halloween song. Maybe I'm being influenced by my love of Scooby-Doo, but after Monster Mash, immediately I was like, okay, now it's terror time again. Next song that is one of my Halloween party classics is Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo. Pretty much anything by Oingo Boingo is a great song to play at a Halloween party. They're just one of those bands. If you don't know, Danny Elfman is the lead singer of that band, and he basically does the music for all of Tim Burton's movies, and he does the singing voice of Jack in The Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's just the vibe of the band in general. So Dead Man's Party is great, but what is No Spill Blood, Not Your Slave, Only a Lad, anything else by Oingo Boingo is still a great Halloween party choice. Dead Man's Party is just the ultimate one because you're at a party, so if you're planning a Halloween party playlist, this should be on there. The next one is obviously The Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've been listening to the song my entire life, so actually it was weird when I got around to watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show and I got to see the song in context. It was jarring for me because I've just been listening to it every Halloween for my entire life. Even when I would go to theme parks when I was a kid, they'd always have shows and they'd always do dances to The Time Warp because it's an essential Halloween song. It's really good. It's also my favorite song from Rocky Horror Picture Show, easily. It's just the most fun. Next one is Zombie Jamboree by Rockapella. Rockapella is so, they're an a cappella band. I listened to them a lot when I was younger because they did educational a cappella songs and such, but Zombie Jamboree is a great song. I just feel like I can jam to it. I turn it on and I'm just immediately it was a Zombie Jamboree. And the last song that I'm gonna mention is This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Again, I love every single song from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I just think that the writing for the music in that movie is incredible. But This Is Halloween is such a great song to establish Halloween. It's a great song to establish Octoberness. It's just yes, this is Halloween. And because this was so hard, I included an honorable mentions list, and I have a bunch, so I'm just gonna read them off really fast. So, some of my honorable mentions: The Purple People Eater, so good. Love Potion number 9 is an essential. Spooky Scary Skeletons, because Tumblr. I Put a Spell on You. I mean, any version is good. It's just, I love that Hocus Pocus version. The Addams Family theme song, clearly a classic, and It's Almost Halloween by Panic at the Disco. Panic's my favorite band, and it's a great song. So now we are moving straight in from music into Halloween specials, like the best special episodes of television shows that were Halloween specials. I'm going to talk about a couple of those. The first of those is the Friends Halloween special, the one with the costume party. This is one of my favorite episodes of Friends of all time, but it's also just one of the best Halloween episodes of television. I mean, Chandler in his stupid bunny outfit, Ross trying to explain his costume. In general, everything about this is such a funny episode, and some scenes of that, despite the fact that I've seen this episode like 20 times, some of those lines still get me to actually laugh out loud every time I watch it. Sorry, that was actually the one with the Halloween party. The next one that I want to mention is basically any Treehouse of Horror episode. The Simpsons, you know, every year since like their second year have done the Treehouse of Horror episode, which is like 3 different mini stories that are all Halloween themed, and you know, they're often really based on spoofing and such of other scary movies. The first one I ever saw was the one inspired by the Ravens, so that's the one I still love, but I think that they're all fantastic. Okay, not all. Some of them fail dramatically, but in general, I really like them. The next one is an episode of Modern Family. I think it was the first Halloween special they ever did, called Halloween, and Claire is getting really uptight because she wants to have like a Halloween haunted house where kids have to come in to get the candy because she's obsessed with Halloween and everything has to be right, and it's hilarious. It's such a great episode about desperately trying to get something right, and no one in your family will just listen to you, and it just turns into kind of a disaster. Plus, that's the episode where Mitchell goes to work on Halloween and he assumes everyone's gonna be dressing up, and he gets there and he's the only one in costume, and he's wearing a full-on Spider-Man costume. It's so funny. The next one is actually my favorite Halloween special of all time. Maybe I should have put this one first, but this is just the order I did things in. It was random. My favorite Halloween special of all time is the episode of Community, their first Halloween special. I think the episode was called Introduction to Statistics. And in this episode, Abed dresses like Batman. And if you've seen the episode, that should be like enough for you. I watched that episode like multiple times within a week when it came out because Abed does such a good job in that episode, and it's hysterical. Plus, that episode features my favorite like after credits 30-second sequence of all time. That show is something special. If you haven't seen Community, it's all on Hulu, like go do it. And the next show I want to mention is Buffy. They did a few different episodes, but I want to mention, I mean, the 2 that I prefer are Fear Itself and Halloween. One of them, they all dress in their costumes and then a curse happens and so they all become whatever they're dressed as. It's fantastic and wonderful, and you know, it's early years, so Angel and Buffy, and I love Angel and Buffy. And then the other one, they go to a Halloween party and it turns out these frat boys have like summoned a demon. That one's ridiculous for so many different reasons, but namely Anya showing up dressed as a bunny because she thinks that bunnies are terrifying, and so she had to dress as the thing that scared her most. Like, I love both of those episodes so much. And the final Halloween special that I adore is obviously It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's like the Halloween standard that I watched every year on Halloween. Like sometime during the day, I would find time to fit in that special because it's just like so classic. I have most of it memorized, and at this point it's just sort of cute and fun, but some of the lines, again, they still get me after this many years of watching it every single year. Like the running joke where Charlie just gets rocks. It's just such a great feel-good Halloween classic. Okay, so we're wrapping up, and I want to talk about a couple of other favorite stuff that I've done in Halloween. As my mom is a seamstress, so she makes incredible costumes and has for most of my life. So all of these like go to her cred-wise. They're absolutely amazing. The first is obviously, like I mentioned, one year me and my sister and my cousin dressed up as the Sanderson sisters. This is what happened there. My sister's the teeny tiny one with a little twisted up mouth. She was so funny, but like we got way too into it the way you do when you're really young and you dress up for Halloween. Like we were in it. We were in character all night. We had a thing worked out for trick-or-treating, and I loved that dress. I wore it for as many years as possible before I completely grew out of it, and I constantly tried to wear it outside of Halloween. So great. My other favorite, I kind of wear it in October. I've never really worn it on Halloween because I'm a little old to go trick-or-treating now, and I haven't had the opportunity to go to like a costume party in a while, but that is my Arya Stark cosplay, and I wore this a couple of years ago when I went to New York Comic-Con, and it's actually so crazy. If you Google the Hound and Arya Stark cosplay, I will be the first picture that comes up because me and my friend David cosplay Arya and the Hound, and a lot of people at New York Comic-Con 2014 took our picture, so it's really easy to find pictures of that. But Arya is one of the best costumes. I think this is like my mom's crowning achievement. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to wear it again tomorrow at New York Comic-Con 2016. Some other just random other favorites. My other favorite stuff about October and in general, pumpkin flavored everything. I mean, like, pumpkin spice lattes are my fave, but pumpkin flavored everything is such a gift in October. I love pumpkin shakes and pumpkin ice cream and just pumpkins in everything, and I approve of it. I love watching cheesy old black and white horror movies. I think that's ridiculously fun. I love cheap candy on November 1st in grocery stores. It's the best. I love Halloween. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Those are all of my favorite things about October. I'm sure I left something out, but October's the best, Halloween's the best, and I hope you enjoyed hearing more about my favorite stuff involved in this month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!